Hey guys, what's going on? It's Lewis here with CRYPTOLETE, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking about whether or not you should be trading against Bitcoin or trading against USD. Before I get into this video though, I do want to talk about the Breathe conference or Breathe convention. This is a huge Web3 convention. It's actually the very first Web3 crypto convention that's going to be taking place at the Las Vegas Convention Center, which is pretty cool. Goes to show you just how early we are, because you would think that by now there would have been a crypto Web3 convention at the Las Vegas Convention Center, but this is the first and it's pretty awesome. And I am actually speaking here. So I'm going to be a speaker, a presenter, or a panelist at this conference. This is the very first big speaking gig that I actually have gotten. So I'm just so excited about it. And so if you would like to come, there is a discount. I'm going to be sharing, or I'm going to be offering a huge discount for anyone who clicks the link in the description of this video and gets a ticket to the Breathe convention. You can get 2 months. I was going to say 1 month, but screw it. I'll give you 2 months free in the VIP Discord group. So you'll get that if you get a ticket to the Breathe convention. I'm trying to show that, I can get some people to buy some tickets and show up. So that would mean the world if you do that, and you'll get your money back from all of the freebies that you're going to get from getting a ticket anyway. And you're going to save a ton of money if you're interested in getting the VIP. So if you were ever interested in joining the VIP CRYPTOLETE VIP Discord group, get a ticket using the description below to the Breathe convention and email me, let me know you got it, and you'll get free access to the actual Discord group. Now, talking about or speaking of the Discord group, let's go into it, because this is the question that came up, which is the basis for this video, which says by Alfano, "Good morning, Lewis. Good morning, all. In the alerts, I see a lot of buying with the BTC pair, like buying Link on a BTC pair chart. The question is, if I am mostly still in cash as I missed the dip of 19K, does the buy alert apply also for me that I have USDT or not?" Okay, so I've been in Bitcoin. I said, once we got the trade up to 19K BTC, I was like, I'm going all in. I'm going all in. I'm putting everything into BTC. And so now I have a lot of trades in my chart against BTC, because if I think that Bitcoin is going to keep on moving up, I don't want to go back into cash because I don't want to miss out on any potential gains that Bitcoin might have. However, if Bitcoin happens to keep on going up, but altcoins go up even more, well then obviously I'd want to be in altcoins. Now, here's the thing. When will altcoins usually bounce, or where on the charts do altcoins usually bounce? Usually at support. So that is why if you click on the TradingView charts, you can see that Link, for instance, is coming into a very big support area. It bounced over here, it bounced over here, it bounced over here. So this whole area on the monthly chart is a pretty decent support area, and on the weekly chart, it's coming into one as well. So I plotted this area out, and let me do this. So you can actually see it extends all the way back, pretty much all the way back to here, to be honest. And so I plotted this level out, and I put an alert in. And what Alfano was talking about when he said, in the alerts, I see a lot of buying with the BTC pair, he's talking about this section right here in the Discord group. I have the alerts. And like I explained, what I do is I go into TradingView and I will go through a lot of coins. So I'll go through all of these different coins and a whole lot more, right? And if I want to trade against USD, or if I want to trade against BTC, I will put alerts into all of these coins at pivotal areas, super pivotal support and resistance areas, saying when to buy and when to sell, aka when I am buying and when I am selling. Because of course, I can't say that any of this is financial advice. I can only say what I'm doing and provide alerts to you guys. And that's pretty much what my Discord is. It's pretty much an alert service where I plot out the major alerts, major buy areas, major sell areas, and then I say what I'm buying, what I'm selling, and what my overall game plan is. And then you could choose whether or not you want to, participate in that. And so if we go back to this, this alert section, the first one, or the latest one, was Ocean BTC. So if you click on this in the Discord, this chart comes up. And in this chart, you can see that the price was all the way up here. It was 2,080 Satoshis. And I said, okay, if it comes back down here, I want to buy it. I want to look for buys in this area when it comes down here. So what you can do, if you get the alert and you click the button, you can press the play button right there, and you can see that it actually dropped 35% against BTC. And now it's coming into a key area. The fib, the previous resistance turned into support. The other very large resistance area, most likely this is the 200-day moving average. There's probably a lot of confluences right here. So I have the alert and it says, okay, it's coming into here. I'm buying now. So you could choose to buy now, or you can choose to wait until a bullish market structure forms. So let me explain what that means. This is Ocean BTC. If you scroll up a little bit more, this is the link trade that he was talking about when he said, like buying link on a BTC pair chart. Okay, so if you go back to the alert section, click on the actual chart, this comes up. And this was a chart that I made an entire year ago. So I made this chart an entire year ago. If you press the play button, you could see that link actually came right into my buy zone. It came right into the level where I said, this is pretty much the lowest level to get into link. It came into there and it ended up bouncing, and it ended up bouncing 125% total. So it bounced 125% from the bottom to the top of this zone to this zone. My buy area to my sell area, was about 70%, I want to say. So if you were to have bought link at this area when the alert originally went off, you could have potentially more than doubled your Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin you had. You could have potentially more than doubled it. And so that's the power of the alerts and setting them in at the key levels, and then just simply, I blindly follow them for the most part. So I'll set my alerts, and I'll also put trades in to my trading software, which is called ALTRADY. And so I do just want to mention ALTRADY right here. This is the trading software that now I recommend. I have spoken to the owner of this, the CEO of this, the founder of this, the developer of this, and it just seems extremely secure. And this allows you to do so many things that you can't do in your brokerage or in your crypto exchange. So going back to the chart, once this price comes down and touches this level, the alert will go off in my trading view, and I set it up to go off in the alerts section in my VIP Discord group. Once this goes off, you click the link, then the chart pops up, you press the play button, and you could see what happened to the actual coin and the price of the coin. Then you could go into your own charts. And if you decide to, on your own free will, simply buy because the alert goes off, then that is what you decide to do. Or what most traders do is they will look for bullish market structure shifts. So you could see that right now on the chain link against Bitcoin chart, it is in a downtrend. You could clearly see that it's in a downward, it has downward momentum, and it is bearish. This is the daily chart. So for quite a while now, it has been bearish. And you could tell that it's been bearish, not just by looking at it, and it's very obvious, but also because we had a low, a high, a higher low, and then an equal high. And then this right here was a lower low. So this low was lower than this one, and that means that there was a bearish market structure break. Then, of course, we got a high, We got a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and now we're going down to make even a lower low, right? So you could see this and say, okay, this clearly is in a downtrend. The RSI looks pretty bad, to be honest. Maybe what you could do now is go down to a lower time frame, let's say the 12-hour. And what you could do is you can wait until something like this happens, where let's say it makes a new low, makes a lower high, and then let's say it makes a higher low, and then a higher high. Well, if it makes a higher high, this would be the first higher high in this entire move ever since here. This was an equal high, a lower 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 high, and then finally, if it did this, this would be a higher high, which would mean that there would be a bullish market structure break. Then what you could do is you can look for an area to long, maybe right here, maybe right here. Maybe you just market long it right there because it's still within the actual higher time frame buy zone. But this is what we're really looking for. We're looking for something like this, or we're looking for a swing failure pattern. So maybe if this came down, maybe if this came down and then closed right here, but it had a wick below this candle close. So a wick like this, for instance, where this candle came down below this one, but then came back up and closed above it. That's a swing failure pattern at the lows in the higher time frame chart of the support zone, as you could see. That would be great. That would be absolutely amazing. So that could be one thing that you use, or you could use the bullish market structure break. You could use whatever you want to get into the trade at that time. And you know that it's good, or you know that it has a high probability of working out because of the alert that went off in the Discord, which happened because I put this in literally a year ago, over a year ago almost. And so you could check the charts and you could look for yourself and say, oh, is this a very good high time frame support resistance area? Boom, it is. Okay, now you go into the charts yourself. You look for low time frame bullish market structure, anything, candles, shifts, whatever you want. You put your trades on, and then you can actually, make some money potentially, or make more Bitcoin. And this is really good. So with that out of the way, let's go into the difference between this and USD. Or if you're only in USD and this goes off, should you still take this trade or should you not? Well, let's discuss that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the BTC USD chart, right? So I'll bring up the BTC USD chart. And so here's what you need to know. You need to understand that we have Bitcoin, right? There's Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is a currency. What is the United States dollar? What is the USD? Well, that's a currency as well. So if Bitcoin is going up, it's going up against the dollar. If Bitcoin is going down, it's going down against the dollar. The dollar is gaining strength against Bitcoin, or the dollar is losing strength against Bitcoin. And theoretically, what is Bitcoin all about? It's all about becoming a world currency, a decentralized world currency. So it wants to be a very big currency, an actual currency. And all of the crypto OGs know this. And that's why on all the exchanges, you have not just the Bitcoin against dollar pair, but you have altcoins against Bitcoin pairs. So you have everything against USD and USDT, and you also have everything against Bitcoin. Why? Because Bitcoin is a currency, and Bitcoin is a better, harder money than the dollar. So if you take, let's say, ETH BTC, for example, you could look at ETH BTC and you can say, okay, Ethereum against BTC is going down, right? But look at ETH against the dollar. ETH has actually been going up against the dollar. What does that mean? That means that Ethereum, maybe it's going up against the dollar, yes, and it went up 34.75%. but it's not going up against the dollar as strong as Bitcoin is. So if you look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin has gone up, sorry, get the bottom of the top, 45.24%. So that was almost 10% more than, yeah, that was more than 10% of what Ethereum went up. So what does that mean? That means that you would have been better off buying Bitcoin compared to Ethereum. If you put $1,000 into Ethereum, you'd be up $350 just about. If you put $1,000 into Bitcoin, you would be up $450 just about. So obviously you want to be in Bitcoin, or you would have wanted to be in Bitcoin. And that is reflected in the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. As you could see, that Ethereum has been underperforming Bitcoin, despite the fact that both assets have been going up. So let's say that you're in my Discord group and an alert goes off and it says, it's this one, link, grabbing some link for my investment. So you click on it and you notice, oh, this is against the Bitcoin chart. All right, well, I'm in USD or I'm in USDT. Should I buy Bitcoin and then buy Link, or should I go to the Link USD chart, see where it's at, and then buy Link with my USD that I have, right? Well, what you have to do, while this chart is good and you should look at the Link USD chart, what you have to do, is look at the Link BTC chart, see where that is. Okay, that's in support. You know that that's good, solid. And then you have to think, is Bitcoin gonna go up? Am I bullish on Bitcoin? Do I think Bitcoin will continue to move higher? If the answer is yes, and Bitcoin's gonna move up, and you see that the altcoin against Bitcoin is at a major support, then there is a high likelihood that within the next few days, the next couple weeks, anything like that, once Bitcoin stalls out and money flows from Bitcoin into altcoins, eventually altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. So you want to get into them before they actually start mooning and going very high and going up against Bitcoin. You want to get into them while they're at the key levels of support, the key areas of interest against Bitcoin. So if you're in USD and you're looking and something, an altcoin against Bitcoin goes off and you're like, damn, should I go in? Well, you have to think, is Bitcoin going to go up? If you think that Bitcoin is going to go up, well then yes, you should be going in. You should be going into the altcoins. You should be going into, I'd be going into it. I can't say if you should be going into it, but that's what I do. I go into them because I think that Bitcoin, I think Bitcoin's going to go up. But what typically happens? What typically always happens in crypto? Bitcoin goes up, money flows from Bitcoin into Ethereum, money flows from Ethereum into major alts, money flows from alts into minor alts, and then money flow continues. Although there's definitely caveats to that and a lot to be said, but typically speaking, that's the cycle, right? So for me, I'm not too upset if I get into some altcoins and then Bitcoin shoots up like tremendously and I miss out on Bitcoin because Bitcoin shot up more than altcoins. And for example, ETH BTC right now, ETH BTC is right here. So I actually bought a little because if you look at this chart, you could see that this right here was the high. This right here was connections of this low, these lows, and then finally, it came down and it tagged it. Not only that, but it's also pretty much the area that is this previous support plus a liquidity zone for sell stop liquidity right here for everyone who bought up here, right? So there's some liquidity up here, right in this zone. So I started buying and I bought some right around here. And I think, and I'm hoping for a move back up Maybe it's 3%, maybe it's 5%, who knows, on the Ethereum against Bitcoin chart. I'm hoping for a move up so that it goes up higher than where I bought it on this chart. And if it does that, then what that means is that Bitcoin moved up and Ethereum moved up, but Ethereum moved up more than Bitcoin did. And so that's the game that you have to play. And that's the bets that you put on when you are putting on trades, altcoins against Bitcoin. You are hoping that the altcoin will outperform Bitcoin. You're hoping that the money that has been flowing into Bitcoin will go into alts. Sometimes it doesn't though. Sometimes it doesn't. For instance, look at this right here. This was a support zone. You can see lots of support, some resistance right here. Maybe this was somewhat of a deviation. Okay, so yeah. So you're looking for support. Okay, so you buy somewhere in here, right? Let's say you buy right here. Well, you would have only had a very small amount of room to actually get out of the trade if you ended up buying in this, in this support zone, right? So maybe you don't get out right here. Maybe you didn't get out right here. You thought it was going to go a little bit higher. You didn't get out right here, and it crashes back down. Well, it crashes down and crashes lower than where you originally bought. Well, if we look at, this is ApeCoin. Let's look at ApeCoin against BTC. ApeCoin, against USD. ApeCoin actually has gone up. ApeCoin has gone up in value, but it hasn't gone up in value as much as Bitcoin has. Therefore, the Ape Bitcoin chart is down despite the Ape USD chart moving up. And so these are calculated bets that you have to put on. And this right here actually is a reason why you can look at the alerts and then say to yourself, okay, this is in a nice area. This is a good buy area. And then you wait until a bullish market structure shift actually occurs. So for instance, this one right here, this was, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. And then finally it created a low and then boom, a higher high. So technically speaking, this is a bullish market structure shift in a big support area, which, you could say actually comes all the way down here. This whole area in between these two white lines is a bullish area. So then you could say, okay, what do I want to do now? Well, I want to go down into a lower time frame, see where I want to get in. Maybe I will use the Fibonacci. So I'll have the Fibonacci from the bottom to the top. It says, oh, look, the 61.8 is right there. I'll put on a long position. I'll look for a long position, maybe let's say right here. And where will my stop go? I'll put my stop right here for, 2.5%. And what I'll do is I'll target these highs up here. So I'd be hoping that I would be outperforming Bitcoin. And if I don't, well then what happens, and this is why I do this is why I have it against Bitcoin. If I don't outperform Bitcoin, and let's say I get stopped out on this trade, so the price comes all the way down, I buy right here, and then the price, it ends up coming down and I end up getting stopped out. I would end up getting stopped out maybe like right here, right? Let's say that happens. Okay, I missed out on 2.5%. And I trade back into Bitcoin. Which means that I'm still making USD because Bitcoin still continued to move up another 8 to 10% even after I got out. So yeah, maybe I lost out on some potential USD gains, but I'm still making gains. And that's why when I think Bitcoin is going to go up, I trade against altcoin. I trade altcoins against Bitcoins instead of altcoins against dollar because I want to hold Bitcoin. I want my Bitcoin. I want it. If we're in a bull market, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin. Why would I do that? I want to sell. You sell your Bitcoin in a bear market. You sell your Bitcoin when it comes into a very major resistance area. So where's my major resistance areas? Well, if I go to the weekly chart against Bitcoin, all right, look at that. It came into one. And now the next one is, can't really say it. The next one is $35,000. So this is really the next one. Maybe you could count 32. And so let's say that Bitcoin comes into a big resistance, right? Well then, yeah, maybe I'll sell my Bitcoin. But then if Bitcoin comes to a big resistance and then it comes back down, let's say it comes up here and then comes back down here. So I'll make it, let's say it does this, right? Okay. So I sold my Bitcoin here, and now Bitcoin retraced to this area. And then an alert goes off in my Discord that says, okay, I'm buying XYZ coin against Bitcoin. Well, do I think that Bitcoin is going to continue to go down, or do I think that Bitcoin has more potential to continue moving up? If I think that Bitcoin has more potential to continue moving up and an altcoin is at a support against Bitcoin, then I think that the altcoins will outperform Bitcoin based off of the money cycle of USD to Bitcoin to Ethereum to higher market cap coins to altcoins, et cetera, right? So that's the thing. If an alert goes off and it's against Bitcoin, and let's say that Bitcoin had a bearish market structure, it was very bearish, right? So let's go to the daily chart and let's look at this, right? You could see this right here, very, very, very bearish while this was happening. If an alert goes off, which it shouldn't, because I don't really do that, I shouldn't have the alerts in during this time, but if an alert goes off that says, okay, I am buying an altcoin against Bitcoin. However, Bitcoin is in a downtrend. You could buy that altcoin against Bitcoin. You could trade your Bitcoin for the alt. However, if Bitcoin goes down, typically altcoins go down even more. So altcoins go down even more so than Bitcoin. Altcoins are higher beta plays. That means that their moves are much more pronounced. If Bitcoin goes up 5%, an altcoin might go up 10%. Bitcoin goes down 5%, an altcoin might go down 15%. So if Bitcoin is in a downtrend and there's bearish market structure, I don't want to be trading my altcoins for Bitcoin. I want to just be trading my Bitcoin for USD and then potentially trading my alts and Bitcoin against USD. Okay, so pretty much this entire, since March 2022, I have not wanted to trade altcoins against Bitcoin. However, once Bitcoin came down and into this area, and then came up and made this higher high right over here, higher than this high back here, or I guess this one right here is really technically speaking, then I'm like, okay, Bitcoin's having a bull market. Bitcoin's back on. Bitcoin is back on. So if I happen to have an alert of a altcoin against Bitcoin, I want to take it. And if I happen to have an alert of an altcoin against USD, I want to take that too, because everything is in an uptrend. Everything is much more bullish, right? So you want to trade against both Bitcoin and USD in bullish markets, and you only want to trade against USD in bearish markets. So once this reaches right here, I will probably not want to trade against Bitcoin pairs. I'd probably want to trade into, USD pairs only. However, if it reaches here and then I sell everything and then the price, of Bitcoin retraces to a decent amount, then I want to buy Bitcoin. So I will buy Bitcoin. I will buy my Bitcoin back. Then if an alert goes off where an altcoin against Bitcoin is coming into a big support area, then I'll trade my Bitcoin for that alt. And maybe I'll only get 3%, 4% on that particular trade. I don't want to try to overshoot it and go crazy with it, but I could increase my Bitcoin this way. And that pretty much sums up everything you need to know and everything that I know about trading Bitcoin against USD and trading alts against USD compared to trading alts against Bitcoin. Actually, there is one more thing that you can use to potentially see what's going to happen between Bitcoin and altcoins, and that is the altcoin dominance and the Bitcoin dominance chart. So if I click on the altcoin dominance chart, you can see, let's go to the weekly time frame over here. You can see that it is coming into a very good area to long alts again. So this can be one more thing that you use. It's not the main thing that I use because it hasn't been too as accurate as, use what I explained earlier. But if you have a lot of those things that I explained earlier and this chart, which you could see this right here, you have to type this in very specific in order to get this chart up on TradingView. If you put this chart in and this comes down, this is coming into a support area, right? and Bitcoin is moving up, then you know what? Altcoins, the dominance of altcoins is probably gonna bounce, and there's a higher likelihood of altcoins actually bouncing. So if Bitcoin was moving up, but let's say this was heading down, and let's say this was like right here, well, that's not a good place. This is a no man's land on this dominance chart, and it's in a downtrend. So the likelihood of an altcoin popping off, right here and outperforming Bitcoin is not as high as, for instance, maybe right here, or definitely down here. Like if this altcoin dominance chart comes up and it's at this major support, and Bitcoin's moving up and we're in a bull market, or at least everything is moving up, then there's a higher likelihood that the alts will move up. So if an alert goes off against Bitcoin, yeah, I want to get into it, and I'll get into it against Bitcoin, or if I only have USD, I'll buy it, I'll buy the USD pair and I'll put on a trade that way, and I'll just look for areas to, take my profits and, put a stop loss in, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, these are the main things. And I think that's like 90% of what I know. I'm sure there are a few things that are slipping me, but this is, pretty much it. So hope that was informative. Once again, if you would like to join the VIP and get these alerts, there will be a link in the description. And also, don't forget, if you do want to join, you can sign up to the Breathe convention and get a ticket to this convention. Link in the description, and send me an email and I'll give you 2 months free in the VIP, which is savings of a few $100s. So not too shabby. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.